NamRA Kachenu, 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 NamRA Kachenu.
NamRA, serving with passion.
Hello and welcome to this first edition of NamRA Kachenu for 2026, your trusted source for all things related to tax, customs and excise matters. As we step into the new year, we here at NamRA remain committed to serving you with integrity, efficiency and transparency while keeping you informed on matters that affect you. My name is Aune and I'm delighted to be your host for the next half an hour or so. In recent developments, Finance Minister tours the South. K9 unit stationed at roadblock for festive season. NamRA cautions public on scammers. All this and more coming up. Stay tuned. The Finance Minister Erika Shafuda, accompanied by NamRA Commissioner Sam Shivute, took a week-long trip to the southern NamRA offices in December 2025. This trip included meetings in Keetmanshoop, Arnhemsvlei, Noordoever, Luderitz and Marienthal offices. The aim for the trip was to familiarize herself with the setup in the south.
We unlimited. Thank you so much. Wow. Yeah? Oh, okay.
Actually go through all these computers. So what is it? This is a part of the scanner. It was a project.
When I came to the southern region, when we came to this office, it was in another state.
During the festive season, the newly appointed NamRA K9 unit was deployed at the Okapuka roadblock to strengthen enforcement efforts. K9 officials conducted random vehicle searches aimed at detecting and preventing the movement of illicit goods, reinforcing NamRA's commitment to protecting society and ensuring compliance. NamRA warns taxpayers and the public about an increase in fraudulent calls and messages from individuals falsely claiming to represent the agency and management. Here is more on the story.
We have seen instances and incidences that have been recorded and reported to us on instances where the taxpayers would get calls around certain things. One that is common is really refunds that are due to them. And they will be told that there is a certain amount of refund that is due to them, and all they need to do is to give out their details. Details involving some of them personal details, possibly others banking details. Now, what we are saying is that is not us. This is not the approach that we employ. One, we will not be calling you because there is a refund that is due to you. All that we would do is, because there is a portal that we use, that would appear there. And what we are saying is that we would really encourage you to interact with us through the use of the ITAS portal. That's one option. In the instance that you get these calls or get these approaches and you are not sure about it, before you act, before you respond, before you supply anything, please do reach out to us. One option, you can actually give us a call on 081 9594 000. That's our NamRA call center, 081 9594 000. In the alternative, you could also then reach out to us on any of our service points so that you can then come and confirm, where you would get an official who would go through your profile and confirm whether there is really a refund due to you. We do understand that naturally people get excited when you are told that there is money that is due to you, and you are likely to do whatever is required so that you can just finish the process and access the money that is due to you. But unfortunately, what we have seen is that in these instances, it leads to you actually losing without you gaining anything. So we're saying if there's anybody who reaches out to you claiming to be an official of the Namibia Revenue Agency, reach out to us before you respond in any way.
NamRA is fast-tracking the establishment of a one-stop customs and excise center in Windhoek. This center is to improve trade facilitation, enhance service delivery, and provide dedicated support to Order With Me, e-commerce, SME operators, with operations expected by April 2026.
Going up, we are then going to show you the designated points of each section, because lucky enough we were more proactive to make sure that when previously we used to come here, we used to come together with security, with the ICT, with the business unit itself, just to make sure that we are all moving in the same direction in terms of the needs, the demarcation of the building.
Without wasting time, colleagues, let me request the
After the break, we will be joined by Aune Shikongo, Manager, Central Region, Registration, Taxpayer Services, and Debt Management here at NamRA. Don't go anywhere. Aune, it's an honor and a privilege to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Aune, can you briefly introduce yourself, professional background, your role, and what exactly you do here at NamRA?
Yes, thank you. My name is Aune Shikongo. I am a seasoned tax manager with over 25 years of experience in tax administration. My journey began with customs and excise operations, where I have served over 6 years before advanced into more senior roles within the Ministry of Finance, having been served as a senior taxation officer, chief taxation officer, control taxation officer, deputy director. And as of recent, I hold the position of a regional manager, Central Region, within the domestic taxes, where I am entrusted to oversee the functions of tax registration, debt management, and employees tax. In a nutshell, I am a public servant.
Now, Aune, can you give us more background and more detail of what exactly your roles and duties are here at NamRA?
Thank you, Jahre. My role, I oversee the entire spectrum of tax registration processes, ensuring seamless onboarding of taxpayer into the tax system, and at the same time maintain strict compliance with regard to registration requirements. I provide an oversight on debt management initiatives, implement effective debt management collection efforts, and optimize revenue and recovery processes. And on the employees tax, I oversee the pay-as-you-earn administration processes with regard to submission of returns on time, payment on time, as well as with assisting employers' reconciliation.
Okay, now what are the key things that taxpayers need to understand about registration, employee tax, and debt management processes here at the agency?
Thank you. Taxpayers should stay informed that understanding the tax administration processes as well as the key information regarding registration requirement, it's very crucial, and it helps to ensure that they adhere to deadlines, thereby avoiding penalties and interest. A well-informed taxpayer is more to be in tax compliance with NamRA, maintaining a good record, as well as contributing positively to the economy. Therefore, it is my call to our esteemed taxpayer to observe the crucial due dates of submitting returns and payment of taxes. And this information is also accessible on all our communication channels, including the NamRA website, as well as our social pages. And for those who are able to, they are welcome to follow the NamRA social pages and stay updated.
Okay, it's quite a lot that they need to do and follow. So what are the services that we as NamRA offer to support taxpayers in meeting all of these obligations and to remain in good standing?
Thank you. NamRA has a range of services, support services, that are designed to assist taxpayer in meeting their tax obligations. And such of these services includes we provide support with regards to tax registration. We assist them to register, whether in person or online. We provide services with regard to submission and filing of tax returns. We also provide services, customs support services at all our customer centers countrywide. We also have a dedicated center in Windhoek, another one in Swakopmund, and about 13 satellite offices countrywide. We provide support with regard to payment. So this is when a taxpayer is able to contact NamRA and negotiate for flexible payment installments, especially when the once-off payment become not feasible. In addition, we provide services of portal services, as well as the ITAS portal services, where we make it easy for taxpayers to be able to manage their accounts remotely.
Okay. Now, how does the submission of employees' tax return affect the issuance of Pay 5 certificates, and what guidance would you give taxpayers to ensure alignment between the two?
Thank you. The submission of pay-as-you-earn returns has an impact on the efficiency and effectiveness of processing the income tax returns of individuals. That's why I urge the employers to ensure that they submit the pay-as-you-earn returns on time, so that to enhance and facilitate the processing of income tax returns by individuals.
Okay, now you've been mentioning that they need to return on time and submit by time. What is the due date for employees to submit this?
The due date of submitting pay-as-you-earn returns is the 20th of every month, following the month of when the pay-as-you-earn was deducted from the remuneration of the employees.
Okay, great. Now, what does tax debt mean, and how does it arise? And are there options, and what are the options available for taxpayers who are unable to pay in full?
Thank you. A tax debt refers to a variance, an unpaid amount. It can be a shortfall between the tax liability and the actual amount paid. And how it arises in many forms. It can be because of missed due dates in terms of submitting returns on time. It can be a payment was not done on time. It can be as a result of adjustment that was done in the form of revision or maybe an audit compliance. It can also be a result of taxpayer themselves. They have disclosed an error in the previous assessment and they inform NamRA for that rectification, and perhaps that adjustment brought an additional tax liability.
Wow, quite a hub of information. But Aune, every conversation needs to come to an end. But are there any key messages you would like to leave with our taxpayers regarding compliance, early engagement with NamRA, and the use of our digital platforms such as ITAS?
Thank you, Yahre. Our taxpayers shall stay compliant with the tax laws, register for tax when the liability become due, and that is immediately you are making a taxable income in Namibia for natural and businesses, and for employer, immediately with at least within 14 days of your employer status. Submit returns on time, pay on time, and engage with NamRA early for any guidance or for any arrangements with payment installments. And I also encourage our taxpayer to embrace the use of ITAS portal, as this will enhance efficiency in processing tax return as well as improve tax service. Thank you.
Thank you, Aune, for making time with us today, and we wish you nothing but success here at NamRA.
Thank you, Yahre, and thank you for the platform to engage our taxpayers.
Now that was Aune Shikongo, Manager Central Region. We'll take a short break, but once we get back, we'll dive straight into educational segments. Don't go anywhere. Let's look at registration for different tax types and what they mean. What are tax types?
These are specific tax obligations linked to a TIN, which is a tax identification number, such as income tax, VAT, pay as you earn, and VAT for import.
Is registering for a TIN the same as registering for tax types?
No. The TIN identifies the taxpayer, while the tax type determines which taxes the taxpayer must file and pay.
When must I register for VAT?
VAT registration becomes mandatory when the taxable supply exceeds 1 million Namibian dollars in any given 12 months period. Voluntary registration may also apply under this threshold once all the legal requirements are met.
In the next segment, we will take a look at different questions from the public on Order With Me.
Good day to the public out there and the viewers at large. My name is Jacqueline Governors. I'm the Senior Manager responsible for Technical Service and Excise Management, Customs and Excise at the Namibia Revenue Agency. With that, I will be responding to the questions posted by the public and the viewers.
Why is there a 61% tax on goods imported from China?
Let me firstly clarify to say that there is no 61% on goods imported from any other country, from any country into Namibia. And I'll also clarify as to why I'm saying that there is no 61% on goods imported into Namibia. But generally speaking, if countries do not have preferential trade agreements between themselves, most favored nation rate would apply on goods imported into a specific country. It's also important to note at this stage that China and many countries do not have preferential trade agreements with Namibia. Therefore, goods imported, particularly from China, like many other countries that does not have the preferential trade agreement, most favored nation rate would apply. Now, let me come back to the second component of the the 61% of goods. Now, when it comes to the schedule of the Act, the Customs and Excise Act, you would find, for example, clothing in terms of customs duties would attract 45%. That's one. Secondly, there is also VAT that must be paid in terms of the VAT Act. Now, you would know that the Customs and Excise Act and the VAT Act, these are two distinct and separate acts. Therefore, goods imported from those countries that we do not have a preferential trade agreement, 45% of the value of the good would then be subjected to payment, now also depending on the type of material and then the value, that depends. Therefore, 45% would be applicable. Secondly, in terms of VAT, and also commonly known as the import tax, it's 16.5%. So therefore, I need to explain that these are separate charges levied on goods imported from those countries we don't have preferential trade agreements.
Ms. Cabanas, what exactly makes up the 61% charge?
The commonly referenced 61%, and I also understand that the public, based on the understanding, referenced it or combines it and indicates that it's a 61%. However, that is legally not correct to do so, because the duties are 45% for the clothing, irrespective whether they are imported from China or from any other country that we do not have a preferential trade agreement. Secondly, that is 16.5%. Now, also to make it practical for the traders out there, also on our declaration form, that is now the SAD 500, these percentages are also separated to indicate that they are separate and distinct in nature.
Which goods and products are affected? Is the 61% applied to all goods from China or only specific tariff codes or product categories?
Well, we should understand that not all goods that are imported from China or from a country that we do not have a preferential trade agreement, attracts, high duties. For example, you would find that off-road logging tractors attracts 10%, whilst also some of the clothing also attract 20%. For example, depending on the type of material, they would attract 20%. You would also find that rubber tires, that is classifiable under heading 4012, also attracts duties ranging from 36% to 45%. These 20%, either the 10% or the 45% that I've alluded to earlier, one still needs to add the 16.5%, which is required in terms of the VAT Act. Therefore, it is very important for the traders out there and the importers to determine what are the specific tariff classification codes for these goods, and in order for them to be able to have the correct, levies that would be paid for those specific goods.
Here are the trivia of duties.
Did you know that NamRA's Customs and Excise Department has 4 divisions? These are Trade Facilitation, enforcement and compliance, technical services and excise management, and lastly, border control and operational compliance, also known as BCOC.
Need to make a payment for tax debt? Here are the available options.
Good day, viewers. I am Jean-Marie Pretorius, and today I'll be taking you through how to make tax payments. Paying your dues does not have to be difficult. The NamRA Revenue Agency has made domestic tax payments simpler, faster, and more accessible. First, you log into your ITAS portal to confirm what you owe. Then you choose the method of payment you would like to pay. We have 3 available options: EFT, direct deposit, and cash or card payments at any of the NamRA cash offices. After making your payment, send your payment to NamRA's accounts at Bank of Namibia. For all tax types besides VAT, you will be using Receiver of Revenue accounts at 165001. For VAT only, use VAT dedicated account 165060. The NamRA branch code is 980172. For all international payments, the SWIFT code is capitalized CBKNNAX. Do not forget to include your tax identification number and the tax period on the deposit slip. Prefer paying in person? Not an issue. NamRA cash offices accept Namibian dollars and South African rand, plus debit or credit card payments via point of sale machines. NamRA offices are open from Monday to Friday, 8 to 1. The Windhoek Regional Office is open until 3 o'clock. When paying as an EFT, use the structured reference format. That is 1/6/006588/14/201806. Let's simplify that a bit. The 1 is for the payment type. The 06 is for the registration office code. The 0658588 is your TIN. That is your tax identification number. The 14 is for the tax type. The 201806 is for the tax period. Having any trouble in making a payment? Do not hesitate to call the NamRA call center at 9594 000. Stay compliant and avoid penalties by paying on time with the right details. Paying your taxes does not have to be hard. With NamRA, it's fast, it's clear, and it's hassle-free.
The question for the previous episode was, what are the responsibilities of the K9 unit? Here's the answer. K9 units, primarily under the Ministry of Environment and the Namibian Police, are crucial for combating wildlife crime, detecting drugs, explosives, and supporting general policing through specialized tracking, detection, and handler protection, guarding endangered species like rhinos, and boosting border security at ports and airports. The question for this episode is, when is the One-Stop Customs and Excise Center expected to be operational? Do email your answer to NamRA Kachenu at namra.org.na. The due date for submission is the 12th of February 2026. We will announce the winner in the next episode.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of NamRA Kachenu. We hope the information shared has been both insightful and valuable. Join us again in 2 weeks' time for more updates. Until then, stay informed and stay compliant. And from us here at NamRA Kachenu, goodbye.